Alright, so the footage we're just looking at is in South Australia, SA, and we're at mylicence.sa.gov.au. This is the site the cop that gave me that huge fine on my EUC told me to look at, right? And he also said that there's no legal PEVs except for the ones you pick up on from the gutter. You know, those purple scooters you see on the street?
And you'll find it, you can find it on MyGov, on the My Licence thing, alright? We crystal clear? Yep. So unless you're riding the purple e-scooter, that one there, the orange ones, you are not allowed to ride any electrical personal device except for obviously an electrical device. Okay. You will be mailed out a fine for riding this, and riding unregistered and riding uninsured. Okay? If I catch you a second time, I will be arresting you, and I'll be seizing that.
He said those are the only legal ones. Doesn't matter if you buy your own and it's the same type, you have to rent from these particular companies that litter the streets with scooters. And he said that, he actually specifically said that Segways are also illegal. He's like, Segways, electric skateboards, electric unicycles, hoverboards. He like listed them all and said they're all illegal, like flat out illegal, right?
These, your personal e-scooters, electric skateboards, Segways, any other electrical personal transporter, except for the ones in the city, the purple and the orange ones that you're allowed to ride, are illegal. You are not allowed to ride them, period, unless you're on private property, period. Crystal clear on that.
So there's no company that's allowed to like litter the streets with them. Do you know what I'm saying? Segways are fully illegal. There's no company that rents them, there's nothing. Right? And if you look down here, it says, what are some examples of recreational devices? Well, you got electric unicycle there, and you got Segway there, right? See that? You got the Segway, you got the EUC, hoverboard, scooter, and electric skateboard. So why the F do you see Segways on the street anyway? They're not allowed by the law, but these guys, those Segways you saw on the beach just then have been around for like years, at least 1 year, probably a couple of years, and they've got no problem with the cops, right? They're out riding on the street, on the footpath, on the beach now, everywhere. So this is ridiculous, isn't it?
Walk it from here, do not catch me riding. You spend the weekend with ourselves.
It's just getting absurd. And look, it says, note, electric scooters referred to here do not include motorized wheelchairs and scooters typically used by people with mobility difficulties. And it's funny, it says typically, so it's not strictly. And the thing is, I've got my medical note now for my EUC. I've seen a doctor and...
You know, you have wrist pain, you have leg pain, and you need to keep weight off of it.
That's the problem though, because there's nothing in the entire world that would cater to someone that has wrist issues.
So I can actually lean on this, like, I can put my body weight on that, right? It basically does all the work, see there's no weight to it. And
Please decelerate.
Yeah.
when I want to move, right, all I need to do is just stand on it like this, and it just moves like that, see? And that's like...
So there's the letter.
Okay, thanks for
It's saying
that.
that you have to put weight off of your wrist and your ankle.
Okay, cool.
Ventilate. And then your two ultrasounds, one for the ankle, one for the wrist.
I've got a note saying why I can't ride a scooter with handlebars or a Segway. Because of my wrist issues. I've had some like wrist issues since the motorcycle accident. So maybe like after seeing this now, maybe I've got a bit more leeway for riding my EUC on the street. But it's absurd, isn't it, guys? It's absurd that we still see these Segways, and they're in big groups too. But now let's go to this beach footage on the Sherman. What the fuck is that? Did you see that thing? That was the weirdest thing. As you can see, I didn't want to go fast as I went past that guy, or anyone for that matter. I don't take this thing to like full speed when there's someone adjacent to me, only if I've got the whole beach clear to myself. For those people that like complain that I'm like being a hoon, I only go fast when I've got a ton of space. And that includes the trails too, by the way. And guys, these pedals are so good. I can't even begin to describe how much better these are than my old pedals, or like the original Sherman pedals. It's got so much, especially at the beach. At the beach, when you've got the regular grip tape and you get any sand on there at all, it just becomes like 10 times as slippery instantly. It's same with water, dust and dirt. They get super slippery, and as they wear out as well, they get more slippery, and as your shoes wear out. And I remember being at the beach and just constantly thinking, damn it, these pedals are getting slippery, and I had to like keep like trying to shake off the sand, and it would never be quite the same after like 5 minutes of riding. You know, you're riding for 5 minutes and then you've lost all your grip. You know, those first 5 minutes were awesome, and then it's like, oh damn it. You know, I could still ride pretty good still even, but just with that concern that, you know, I could slip off fairly easily. With these pedals, it's just 100% grip all the time. Even if you get a bunch of sand, like I got like this thick layer of sand on there, and just to try it, I stepped on it to see if I would have much grip, and I had a ton of grip. Like it made no difference. You know, your weight presses down on those spikes and they just dig into your shoes. You got stacks of grip. And one thing I was thinking was that maybe it would be too much grip, you know, because I had never tried spike pedals until I got these. And I thought it might be too much grip, so you're locked in and maybe you can't like adjust your feet and stuff. I read that somewhere too. And it's not the case at all. With these, they're not quite spikes, they're just like round screws with these like round heads. So they're not spikes at all, they're just screw heads that stick out. And it's perfect. It's not too much grip, but it's still way more grip than skateboard grip tape. It's just perfect. This is like, I can't even describe it, guys. I feel like more one with this machine now because I've got that grip that I always needed, you know, to like just feel comfortable and safe. But it's not too much, like I said, so you can still adjust your feet, you're still like free to move around, but that grip is there when you need it. And if it gets wet, there's no issue there. It's just awesome, guys. They're awesome. I recommend these so much. Even if they were like, I mean, you know, it's getting a bit expensive. I was going to say, because they're already $300 basically, or like 200. Even if they were 400 or 500, it would be worth it because of what it gives you. It lets you use this machine properly. You know, when you don't have these pedals, you're compromised, and you're always riding in such a way that you're kind of making up for that lack of grip by riding differently and more conservatively. This just opens it up. It opens up the power too. Guys, I remember on the way to the beach, there were these gravel roads, and when I had my standard pedals, I could never get much speed. It's because my tire was more wobbly too. You know how I balanced this tire, and it's really nicely balanced now, so it could be that too. But I remember I couldn't get past like 40 k's an hour on these gravel sections. They weren't that long, and now I can just hit 60 so easily. 60 k's an hour. And when I was in traffic, I remember especially my wobbly tire, guys, with that wobbly tire I had for so long, I couldn't push past like 45 k's an hour before hitting those wobbles. And you can push through them. If you push through them, you get to 60 and the wobbles go away and it gets smooth again. But it feels dangerous. From 45 to 60, you're like wobbling. You're like pushing through these speed wobbles to try and get to the smooth part. And it just feels so dodgy in traffic. You know, when you jump into traffic and you need to speed up to 60 to keep up with traffic, because 60 is like the most common speed. And most cars will actually do like 64, 65, you know, like a little bit over. So you need to push like 60, you know, you need to go above 60. And just to get there, it was like pushing through like ludicrous speed, you know, like, it was just so dangerous, guys. It was so dangerous. And I didn't like doing it because of that. Just today, like when I came back from the beach, I hit this like main road section and I saw this gap in the road and I was like, should I like try and jump into that gap, you know, and speed up to 60 and just cruise with traffic? And I did it so easily. It was just effortless. Like, this Sherman belongs in traffic. You know, I didn't even have to lean forward that hard. I just got to 60, no worries. Like, with those wobbles I had, you had to lean forward extra hard because of the resistance it created. You had to lean forward super hard to get to 60. And because I had that crappy grip tape, like I had the crap pedals with no grip, it's even worse because when you're leaning forward, you want more grip. You know, when you hit a bump or something, your shoes can slide a bit. So yeah, guys, it's awesome. It's so awesome. The only bad thing is that these pedals are a little bit thicker, so it hits the ground a little earlier. And I told you this Sherman already has low pedals, which is a bit of a problem. You know, it is a fairly big problem, guys. Like, if they were higher, it would be twice as good. I'm not even kidding, because you can corner hard, you know. At the moment, it's like, this thing's like a straight line machine. It can still corner, but it's very limited. And now with these thicker pedals, it's a little bit more limited. Not much, but it's kind of, you know, I can feel it because I was already complaining about the low pedals. So that's the only thing. You could probably like shave the bottom off, like grind the bottom off them and fix that. But yeah, it's like, I'm going to look into these higher pedals. Like, apparently there's like a mod you can do to get higher pedals on this thing. All right, guys, we'll leave it there.